Come on in. Let's talk. I am your host, Miss Spicy Red. Today we are back at it with another great podcast. Today's show is about violence. It's gonna be a great show. I promise y'all. I promise y'all. So grab your blunt, your black and mild, your cigarette, get something to drink, and get ready because for this hour it's going to get real for real. But before I introduce my first guest, um, because he's not just a guest, he's a friend. And I was actually a bridesmaid in his wedding. But fuck Christiana Care because I couldn't go because I just started there and they told me I couldn't go. But I had my fucking whole dress and all that. It was fucking PR and all that. Okay? Fuck Christiana Care, health systems, kick fucking rocks. But any fucking way. I was a bridesmaid in this man wedding. It's my homie, but also not. I used to work at Phillips McCoy, and y'all say jobs don't care. Jobs do care, and I promise you this. So before I introduce him, I'm gonna get into it real quick, right? So we at work. Everybody know me and Aaron was not only manager, employee. I was on roll too. So we at work, and Bob come to my desk and was like, "Tiff, you need to get this shit. You need to get up and leave." So I'm like, "What? Get up and leave?" Now, mind you, this is the fucking general manager of the company. So when somebody come tell you that shit, first fucking thing, I'm like, am I fired? He was like, no, but you need to get up and go. I'm like, what you mean get up and go? You need to leave. I'm like, why? What's going on? So he's saying this. So he's saying get up and leave. And as he's saying that, it's like a sadness over the office. And it's like, um, you know how motherfucking like when you in the hospital and you go organ donor and everybody in the hallway standing up and your family coming down and shit. So I stood up and it's like the whole office is looking at me, like staring at me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? But they know how I am. And I'm crazy and shit. So they ain't want to really like tell me because I had to drive. So they like, come on, get the things. And like people was telling me, other managers like pushing me, like they fucking pushing me out the building. And I'm like, am I getting fired? They're like, nah, you leave, go to Aaron. I'm like, what you mean? Go to Aaron for what? He's like, Aaron's son just got killed. I'm like, what? Aaron who? Aaron, like, he ain't here today. Aaron wasn't there. I'm like, my manager is not in today, but I'm at work on the calls trying to get fucking money for the team. So I'm not, you know what I mean? They like, get up and go. They're pushing me out the fucking door. So I'm like, what the fuck? But they like, be careful. So I'm starting to make phone calls because I'm confused. I don't know what's going on, but they like, you need to go to Aaron. Like, get to Aaron and Keisha, like, get to them. I'm like, the fucking job pushing me out. Okay, I ain't fired. Okay, I got my job when I come back. So it's not registering, and it's like, you need to get to Aaron, his son. I'm like, what the fuck? And y'all know I did the fucking show previously. My little cousin got killed, and we talked about the gun violence and violence in general homes and putting the guns down. So we on Chapman Road, and I gotta get to West High. So y'all know me how I roll. I got my hazard lights on. I'm bobbing and weaving 95. I'm there because my peoples, and I gotta get there. So I get there, and his son was still laying out there under a white sheet. Aaron on the corner, people gathering him. I pull up. It's the block outside is deep. Everybody outside. I see Keisha, her people's there. They crowd her. So I go to her first. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And just everybody's outside. Everybody's outside. Everybody's outside. And I see a body on the floor, on the ground, under a white sheet. I'm out fucking Newark. I I had to get it together. So it had already happened. So he was already laying out there for a long motherfucking time. I'm out in Newark and I had to get the fucking west side. And it's traffic on the highway and they pushing me out. So it's already 20, 25 minutes and he's still out there laying. Cause I got there and he was still there. So I got there to see the shit. And my bro, my manager at the time, I go to his wife at the time, Keisha, I hug her and she like, go to Aaron, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then it's just, I see his son on the ground. I don't see him, but I see his body. He's under a white sheet. And I go to him and I hug him and it's just like that. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce my first guest. Um, Aaron. He lost his son to these streets of Wilmington, over West Side years and years ago. And he's here and he has a partner on alongside of him. Also got some violence going on and they're just gonna tell y'all their story. So this is going to be a great show. So and it's gonna get deep and it's gonna get intense. So y'all better grab what you gotta grab and get ready and lock in because we about to go to fucking Aaron.
All right. First, thank you for having me.
No doubt, no doubt, no
Spicy
doubt.
bread.
No doubt, baby.
Happy to be here.
Thank
And
you.
my
Thank you for
partner,
coming. Thank you for
Kelly.
coming. Thank you for coming.
Um,
Thank you for coming,
we're
Kelly.
glad to be here. And the reason that we're glad to be here is because we have some information that we believe is going to help
Right,
the community.
right.
The information that we have to share is based on our own personal experiences, our personal opinions, our personal feelings, and this is what we have to share with the audience in hopes of providing some type of healing for the community. Um, to carry on where where you left off, that day that you speaking of, I'd say the worst day of my life.
I bet.
Losing
I'll
a
never
child
forget
is
that.
something that no one can actually, it's hard to comprehend.
Right.
No one is prepared for that moment.
You can be.
In being a parent, we do the best that we can. There's no
We do.
handbook for parenting. So we make mistakes,
All the time.
and we learn from those mistakes and we try to continue on and we
Yes.
try to be the best that we can be for the sake of our children.
Right.
Um, the one thing that I've learned in being a parent is that, you have to be honest with yourself as well as your children.
Yeah.
Honesty is very important in raising a child or children, um, or in grieving the loss of a child or children. Honesty is the one thing that is really required when it comes to looking into yourself. When you go through some type of experience like that, you tend to take a self inventory, just to look inside yourself, man, and see, what it is that I did wrong as a parent, what I can improve on as a parent.
Because I'm quite sure you definitely asked yourself that several times.
Absolutely, and the children that I still have now,
Right.
I always seek on how I can improve or be better as a parent, not as a friend, but as a parent. And there's a big difference.
Right.
But shining that light on the inside of your soul can be very, very hurtful at times because you tend to find things that you don't like or that you don't like to accept. For me, it was the fact that I played a significant role in the lifestyle that my son chose to live, which led to his demise. The reason that I say that is because from the time my son was 2 years old, my son was right next to me while I was selling drugs.
Right. So
He was my right hand. Mind you, I had him at a young age. I had my son when I was 17 years old. So we kind of
having a baby.
we kind of grew up together.
Right.
We kind of grew up together, and more so as big brother, little brother. But
because everything you endured, every struggle and everything, he was right there alongside of you. So
he was right there.
He endured it.
At 2 years old, my son sat on the step right next to me and watched everything that I did in terms of selling drugs. Not only did he watch that, but we actually sold drugs out of the house that he was raised in. So he got to experience firsthand what it was like to live and grow up in a trap house. And that's something that I'm not proud of to this day, but it's something that I have to experience. that I experienced. Can we take a moment real quick?
Sure.
Just step out for a second.
Sure.
I need a moment.
Yeah,
One moment, please. I got an emergency call going on.
Come on in, let's talk with Miss Spicy Red. I am your host. Let's get it, okay? If you don't want to come join, just come to get the word because it is a good word.
Right. But you know, we too.
Yeah, we definitely emotional though. We all emotional, but definitely.
I totally just didn't want him to touch me. He started like kind of piecing it together. Like, you always over this bitch crib.
I know I'm a retired doctor.
Oh, okay now. Okay.
I'm an old hoe now. I go to bed by 7:30. Ain't no dick being sucked. You want to use my platform to make a difference. And some things that I experienced struggle.
Stand the fuck up, bitch. It's a motherfucking movement out this motherfucker, and we gonna go up. With that being said, y'all have a good motherfucker. And we back. Okay, so we going back to Aaron. We talking about his son and the gun violence, and so what happened to your son? And okay, so you're saying that your son grew up watching you slinging it, banging it, mixing it, and all that in the trap house in the hood over West Side, getting that money. And not only are you a parent that you recognize that it wasn't right, but you are actually admitting to it and you understand it. So you grown from that, and I'll just go ahead and continue.
See, the thing is that you can look at a situation and you know, tell right from wrong.
Right.
However, when you're in that lifestyle actually consumes you.
Yeah.
And you get caught up in the lifestyle. And that's what happened with me. And I would tell myself that I was a good father because I was a provider. My son or my family, those around me, didn't want for anything.
Exactly. And that's where the fast money comes in at. So you thought
we all had what we needed. We all had what we wanted.
Right.
There was no issues. But the problem was that although I was providing, the man's role in a family is to be a leader.
Absolutely.
And I wasn't leading.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I wasn't a good leader is because of the fact that I had to come to grips with the fact that I was a selfish person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my message here today, is to those who still out there slinging it.
That's right.
You know, doing their thing, man. You got children sitting there watching you, whether they're your children, whether it's the neighbor's children. Somebody is out there watching. And, you know, what we do is we justify it and we tell ourselves that we're doing it to feed our family, which is not necessarily true.
Right.
If we were just interested in feeding our family, it's ways that we can do that without selling drugs.
Yeah,
we can work 2 or 3 jobs if we had to.
Yeah.
For example, I was in college. I dropped out of college.
73.
Dropped out of college to stay in the game. And, you know, so if I was sincere about wanting to do for my family, then I would have been doing the right things as a man to lead my family in the right direction. But instead, my selfishness was the catalyst for bringing my family down. My decisions. I'm the one that showed my son, you know, how to do the wrong thing. And I'm not saying I necessarily sat down with him and went over things of what he should do, but just providing him the opportunity to feed me and to watch, and me creating that environment that allowed him to learn negativity is what I'm speaking about. So those that say, you know, that you're out there doing it to feed your family, it's not true.
Right.
It's not true. So it's time to be real about the part that we play, because the story that I'm telling you right now could ultimately wind up being your story if you don't listen to what I'm saying. Kids do as we do
Yeah, start somewhere. Somebody
more
tell
than
your
more
motherfucker.
than what we say. We can say all the the positive things, or we could talk about what we aspire for our children to be,
Mhm.
but they're looking at what we do
Do.
more than what we say.
right.
Right.
And-
Because they look. You keep on. You can tell me, but you keep on doing the shit.
Those are the things that
Mhm.
stand out to children the most, is what you do rather than what you
What
say.
You motherfucker
So
right.
coming to grips with that was a hard pill to swallow for me, but it was necessary in order for me to begin the healing process, because I still grieve every day. And my son passed away in 2008,
You
but
ain't
I
gonna never stop
still
grieving.
grieve.
You ain't gonna never stop. You ain't gonna never stop.
It's a lifelong process.
Right.
However, what I use to help me cope with it is my truth,
Okay.
unpacking the baggage that I have inside.
Mhm.
Getting deep down into my basement, what I call the bottom of my gut, I call the basement.
Okay.
Getting into my basement and unpacking all that baggage that I've been carrying for years, knowing that I did wrong by showing the wrong picture,
Right.
and feeling guilty that he learned the things that he learned from me. Now, yes, children have the ability to make their own decisions. However, children's mind are not fully developed until a certain age. And even for adults that may be watching, I may not have been the one that told someone to do this or do that, but they watch
Yeah.
and they learn.
They
People
see.
watch and people learn. And that guilt has been a part of my grieving process
Okay.
since 2008. And I've recently learned how to cope with it by unpacking the baggage from my basement.
Trash.
And that's how I'm able to share it
That is
with people to help
a
them
powerful message.
realize that you're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling anybody but yourself.
Right.
If you're telling yourself that you're just doing this to feed your family, you're just doing this to make ends meet.
Mhm.
Men are supposed to lead, not just provide,
Yes, sir.
but lead.
Yes, sir.
And if you're not doing it in a
Lead by
productive way,
fucking example.
then you're not helping your family. You're not helping your children. And you don't want to
They don't
get
get
to a point
I don't get
where my story becomes your story, because it'll be too late.
Destroys you.
it. Right.
So I want
Change y'all start something.
those that's still out there to hear my message and hear it well, so that you're not sitting in front of somebody's camera on a podcast talking about the demise of your child and the role that you played in doing that. That's what I want to talk about. That's what needs to be heard. The truth. The truth.
The truth
And I'm not alone.
will set you free.
Everybody has a story, but that's my story, and it goes a long way.
It's a great
But
thing.
my partner also has a story to tell, and I think you'll be just as amazed to hear his story as with mine. So please give it up for Brother Kelly.
Brother
Hey,
Kelly,
yes, my
So-
name is Kelly
let
Harrison.
us know who you are, where you come from, and what you doing. With
Yeah, I'm from the west side of Wilmington. My son was named McKinley Omar
West Side,
Harden,
but I'm a North
who was
Side,
murdered
okay? So,
by a gentleman when he was just turned 18, maybe a week after he turned 18. He was murdered by a 38-year-old man who decided to try to rob him and rolled him up in a rug and threw him in the neighbor's yard and let him bleed out. And all of that stemmed from
Lord Jesus.
him hustling, my son, and being around folks that was untrustworthy. And this man was a predator. Then my son was a kid. He was still a teenager. This man was 38 years old. So, and just like Aaron said, a lot of that was learned behaviors.
Right.
Because I also hustled in the street, got high in the street, let them see everything that was going on in my life at the time. And hustling was the same thing. And I thought, and I didn't hustle because I had to hustle to feed my family. That's the sad part about this. I was a pump station operator for the city of Wilmington when I was a very young man, 19 years old. So I was making some money, but the hustle game is a sickness too.
It definitely
If you grew up in this, you'll always be hustling.
Yeah.
because you're always trying to achieve
all you
more and you're trying to
Right.
fix this. And
Yeah.
like you said, make sure your family's eating
Mm.
and you're lying to yourself the whole time.
Better say it.
And what I done is I showed my kids how to create genocide
Okay.
in their own community.
Yes.
So we wrecked the
love that.
community, you know what I mean? And by my son dying, it hurt so bad that I just couldn't get over that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just tried to figure out one way of fixing it. And you know, the first thought you have is somebody killed one of yours, you want to go kill something.
Yeah, that's
That's your first
That's
thought.
the first thought.
You know,
That's
and I have
natural.
sons, you know, that coming up and
Right. They still need.
they
Still need
just like me, because I taught my sons don't back down about nothing.
Right.
And they would hurt you. And I couldn't lose another child, because even if one of my childs retaliate against this man,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them tried,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And he ended up getting another 5 years in jail, you know, because he was incarcerated at the time that his brother was killed.
He was hurt.
When they brought this man in here, he stabbed him in the eye. You know what I mean? Trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And then that kept my son away from me another 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, I went to go get myself together, because I knew that this was part of my stuff.
Right.
This is part of my stuff that they
You had to
seen.
fix it. Right.
And they was a product of their environment. That's who they was, you know. So they thought later on in life that hustling was the thing to do, because me and her mom broke up. I was somewhere else, so I wasn't always with them every day.
Right.
So the struggles come to them is how to get money. And how to get money is
And
the
get it
same way that
fixed.
daddy got money.
Right. So they watch you do it.
And that destroyed them. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it hurt so bad that when I went to go get some help, man, I went to Philadelphia to get help, because I couldn't get no help here,
Okay.
because I wasn't going to act right. And the police was always on me about something, because I was still thinking I could do my thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But that didn't work out. So I went to a place in Philadelphia called EDI, and I learned my behaviors and my mistakes, and take responsibility for
Right.
my mistakes,
Right.
and then try to
As
do
you should.
better.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
then I end up in 2 years, I was running my own rehab in Philadelphia.
Okay.
I was coming back to Delaware, getting them same people I used to sell the drugs to, and bring them up there so they can get clean.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's
And
wonderful.
then grab my children that's left.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like he said, it's not a handbook with this children thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I tried hard as I can to show them the example
Mm.
of what I should be
Right.
instead of what I was.
Okay.
And today, you know, it's different when they can look at you and call you, know, that's my father. But when they call you dad, because you're doing the things that you're supposed to do,
So, yeah.
and you're standing up, and not only that, you're not doing the things, you know, that nothing criminal from there on.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm speaking right. I'm treating their mother right. I'm doing, you know,
care.
you have to do
Showing
the
up.
things that you have to do. You
Right.
know, just because you give somebody some money don't mean that you're a father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure
Get
don't.
present in your kid's life. You know, I'm
Yes,
hear Brother
sir.
Aaron
I was
saying that
saying,
you
yes,
listen,
sir.
take
Gotta do something
control.
with 'em.
See, we supposed to be the head of our household. And what I do is what my kids see. That's the product of environment that
Right.
I'm talking about. So
You're
today,
absolutely correct.
thank God I can say this, that all these kids are doing good. I got kids that finished college.
Right.
One's still in college.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yes, sir.
they all working, and they
Yes,
ain't
sir.
all put out. And you know, so listen, but I have to stand up.
Right.
Me and mom have to stand, because me and my significant other
Right.
got high together,
Okay.
and we hustled together,
Okay.
and we robbed together.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So listen, now you couldn't even, if I told my grandbabies that right now, and if they see this, they'll say Grandpa lying.
They probably wouldn't believe it. Right.
Because they say that's not
Because they
him.
don't
He
see
ain't
it.
never done that.
Right, 'cause they
Because
don't see that part
I
of you.
refuse
that
to
part of
let
you.
them see that,
Right.
because I have to break this chain. Somewhere down the
Sir,
line, the
somebody
curse
gotta do
have
it.
to be
Somebody
broke.
gotta do it.
That
Yeah.
we are striving people, and we, you know, stand up to our true creed.
Yeah.
Stand up to it, man. And not only that, I want everybody that's listening to me right now under my voice, I like them to know that it's a way out of this hustle game. You don't have to hustle, and I haven't seen no millionaires in Delaware that's hustling.
Right.
I haven't seen none.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're not going to get rich in it. You ain't going to, and then
Talk
we
to
losing our children
Talk to
out here. We're losing them every day. I looked at 2 bodies the last 2 months, stood over, dead. You know what I mean? And when this going to stop? When we going to stop killing each other, man, for this little crumbs?
I'm trying to tell you.
And educate ourselves. See, knowledge is the new money. And as long as you have some knowledge, you can always strive. But you can't strive trying to hustle on the block. It's not going to work. We crabbing each other. The game has changed. If you snitch on somebody, then you can get out of jail. And, we got our own folks lining us up now. Get the girl to bring us across town and sit us at the park and call me so I can come by and hit you with the switch. You know what I mean? But it's sad.
It is.
We ain't got to kill each other. You know what I mean? Not about this right here. We got to be smarter than that. And the prisons is operated on us acting the way we do.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I was telling somebody.
Come on in.
Yeah, I was telling somebody that
come on in and fucking pile on in and act the fool.
The Klan wrote a letter saying that he's so happy about us black folks right now because they're the new Klan. This is the new Klan. He said we don't have them sheets and stuff on our head no more. What we have with doctors, lawyers, councilmen, president. And what we do is at 3 a.m, we'll drop a crate of guns out on the street with some drugs on it and leave. So I'm looking at him like, what do you mean that's what he's doing? He said, and then we wait 2 weeks and watch y'all kill yourself. You're doing a good job at it. But I'm just mad because I didn't drop off 2 crates. And it's hurtful to hear him say that.
It is.
Knowing that the violence in our street is just like that right now. Definitely. So anybody that's listening to this, man, we don't have to give the prison guard a job for the next 30 years. And then the probation person 8 years after that. While they get rich, we suffer. And not only that, we disrespect them and, they're going to kill somebody because he disrespect you. But the disrespect is you not be able to raise your son and daughters out in the street and letting somebody else raise your 14-year-old. And you know what them streets do to that 14-year-old. You know what I mean?
I just was saying the streets don't love nobody.
They don't love nobody. So now you,
they don't love
yeah,
nobody.
you mad. Yeah,
I
you.
just was telling you all that.
Yeah.
They don't love no. I just said the streets
don't love it, and
but everybody love the streets.
Yeah, you can't get mad at this 22-year-old that got your 14-year-old knocked up. You know what I mean? She's knocked up and he don't give a damn about her because she's 14. He gonna leave on next to the next one. But as a man, we need to start standing up for our household.
And let me add to that.
Yeah.
Let me add to that. Not only the 22-year-old that got your 14-year-old knocked up, but the 22-year-old that gave your 14-year-old a pack to sell.
Pack.
Okay.
How about that part?
Pack. You know what I mean?
Okay, talk to him.
Now, what we need to do
talk to him
going forward is to stop normalizing it.
That's right.
Stop making it seem like it's okay.
Like it's okay.
Because you want to see
the right thing to do.
You want to seem thorough.
Jesus.
You want to seem thorough in the community. So you out here showing the wrong picture, saying all the wrong things, and the whole time you got children, family members, neighbors that's watching your every move while you glorifying the stuff that's killing you and the community.
Right.
They know what you doing, what time you going to work, what time you coming home on your lunch break, what time the kids get out.
Stop glorifying the bullshit.
You're right. That's
Stop glorifying it. It's not cool. We know it's not cool, but we lie to ourselves to try to make it become cool, and it's not. It's hurting the community.
And that's what I'm talking about right now. The normalcy of what's going in our neighborhood is killing us. I was telling Brother Aaron last week, I seen a boy get shot. That was a friend of mine. I'm sitting in my car and they ran down on him, shot him up. And the little kids walked up the block. And he looks at the porch and, oh my God, he go get his other little friends. Come here, look, there go his brain matter all over the porch. How about this is not shocking to these kids anymore? It's not shocking, man. So, you know,
they see it on a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
They supposed to only see it in the TV, but see it on TV, they don't care because they see it in real life.
Right.
And that shit don't matter. They see it every day, all day
every
long.
day. But listen, but we're supposed to be monitoring our children.
Please.
I don't want my children watching that on TV. I don't need him to see the video where everybody's a gangster and this and that, because and we have to take more control of that, because their mind, like Aaron said earlier, their mind is not developed. So they actually think this is the way our life is supposed to be. We king and queens. I don't understand that. You know what I mean? So we can't just keep killing each other and thinking that it's all right. You know what I mean? And until we straighten that out, and that's the fathers. That's why we're here. That's the fathers. You need to straighten out your own house.
Yeah.
And then you can help somebody.
I just say it's so important, because I never had, and I don't mean to cut you off, but that's kind of that's why I kind of grew up fucked up, because I ain't had no father in my life. Okay. And that's why I was running away, and I was in the streets, and I was fucking and sucking at 12 years old and all that, because my mom had boyfriends coming in, but on some real, and my podcast ruffled my mom's feathers, but all of them men wasn't even hers. Okay. Somebody else fucking me. Okay. And I seen that. Okay. So I thought it was called okay. So, again, we do what the fuck we was raised in. Yeah.
Right. Product of the environment.
And it's getting off of the subject, but just by saying the shit that I've grown, like I said, I watched my mom, and like I said, ruffling feathers, but I don't give a fuck. I watched her get beat on and all that, so I thought it was okay for me to get beat on. Okay. I'm grown now, but I was sleeping with married men and all that because I watched it in my household. I thought it was cool. So I grew up doing things that I thought that I thought was cool, and it wasn't. Okay. And again, I needed the father, because I'm 43 years old. I can't tell you, I don't know what it means to have a father in my life, or have a father's love. I could never call a father and say, I need you. I need this. I need a hug. I need this. I need that. So I went to the streets for it, because I couldn't turn around and go to a man in the household, because there wasn't no man there. There wasn't no man there raising me. My mom was mother and father. I was mother and father, always been. I needed a father in my household to tell me what was right from wrong, because she didn't do it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I went to the street. I went to the old heads and the people. That's the people that was older than me, because I'm out here doing things because I didn't know better, and I didn't have a man in the household. I didn't have a father to guide me. I didn't have father's love, and it's so important. I keep saying that it's so important to have a 2-parent household, or just have or not even that, just for the fathers to be in these kids' lives, because kids grow up fucked up. And I keep telling you all that shit. I'm tired of the fucking environment.
Do y'all hear this?
It's so important to have a father in your life, because I told y'all, again, I was 12 years old. I fucking sucking, doing drugs, out here in the street, running away, not going to school, not doing that, because why? It wasn't no father there.
That's right.
I keep telling y'all, it's the important that these fathers in your life, because the product is me. And I'm fucked up to this fucking day behind that shit. I keep telling y'all.
Come on.
The fathers and they get these fucking kids' lives, because they need y'all. Right. I need a father coming up, and I still don't have one. And I'm still and I'm not saying that, but I'm still fucked up because I didn't fucking have one. The father is so important to have these fathers in these children's lives, in these boys' lives. It is so important, because we can't do it. And I'm mother and father to both of mine, and I couldn't do every fucking thing. And there was always a struggle, and it's hard, and it's still fucking hard. But I do it because I have to, because I had them. It's hard as shit. Not having a man in the house, it's hard.
Come on.
It's hard as fuck. I can't raise a grown boy. My son had been on house arrest, probation. I don't know, job behind his motherfucking ass. He in the street fighting, doing this and doing that. I could never call his fucking dad to come help me out to do shit. I had to. Whenever you ever have somebody, I'm coming. I'm the mom. So I'm coming and I'm standing 10 toes down with my fucking kids. I'm coming in the street and I'm getting the pain and I'm fighting with everybody. I'm coming. They call me, I'm fucking coming. I don't give a fuck. I'm coming because all the fuck they fucking had. And see,
Yeah.
they grew up and got homeboys and shit. And then they called it homeboys and shit. But before then, they was calling me. And I'm coming. I'm fighting my
But
fucking
do
mind
y'all
kids
see
I'm
Yeah.
coming.
the
This
pain?
is the product
I'm
and the
coming.
pain.
This is the pain that's
I'm
out
fucking
there.
proud of because
Right.
men are fucking not
To-
there.
to
And I
those-
need a man in my life. A father in my fucking life. And I'm 43. I never fucking had a father in my life and I needed that. I
Do
never
y'all hear
had
the
it.
cry for help?
Never had
Yeah.
it.
All the so-called men out there.
Never.
Yeah.
Do y'all hear the cry for
Never.
help? This is what's out there.
Never.
So this is what your son and daughters will get
Never.
if you
is
continue
it.
on that path. So now moving forward, we need to be able to stand up, and you ain't always done the right thing, but start doing the right thing today.
Today.
Today, go get your daughter and tell her that you love her. Go
Stop.
get your son and tell him this is not the right thing to go from this girl to
Right.
that girl to that girl and get her pregnant and hustle some drugs.
Stop
You know,
smoking weed in front of your kids.
Kids, I don't never had
Stop
a drink
doing
with my
that.
child.
Stop drinking with your
Right.
kids. Stop
Yeah.
letting them curse around you
And
and
I-
have negative conversations
Right,
around
right.
you.
They ain't
Monitor
preaching.
who they hang
I
with.
did.
Yeah.
I let my fucking
Yeah.
son at a certain age though. Because
Yeah.
We all do it. We all
Yeah.
make mistakes.
But for today,
admit to that shit.
yeah, but for today, we're gonna break that curse.
We're breaking the cycle
We
today.
breaking the cycle today and not allowing that to happen with us. You know what I mean? Because let me say that when you start drinking and smoking with your child, you lose a level of respect
Right.
every time. Now your child don't call you by your title. You mom,
Now
you
it's bro.
queen,
Now
you
it's bro.
dad.
It's bro.
You know, or bro.
Ping mine.
Right.
Call me
But-
girl.
but-
Who the fuck you talking to?
Yeah,
I
but
will fuck you up. Call me girl again.
yeah,
Who you talking to?
but
I'ma
you
fuck
see,
you up.
that's
Girl,
what
girl,
we
this,
talking
he got
about.
Ping, both of them.
Yeah,
Got me
but
fucked up.
this
Girl,
is what
What?
we're trying to help.
fuck
We're
outta
trying to
here.
help. You have a title. I
Yeah.
have a
Fuck outta
title.
here.
I'm
Call me
dad.
girl again, I'm
You
knocking
know what I
the fuck
mean?
out.
It's
Tell your
painful,
fucking
It's
mom, call me
painful.
but
girl
it's
again.
fixable.
Fuck outta
It's
here.
It
fixable.
starts with honesty,
That's right.
self-inventory,
Right.
being
Word.
honest with what you see, and
Mhm.
being
I told
transparent.
y'all
And
this.
changing
and
that.
trying to
I
change it.
told y'all.
And
I had to tell you.
change
starts
that.
today.
I told you.
It starts today. And I appreciate it. You know, last week, man, Aaron done a podcast and got thousands of hits off of it.
I seen it.
So
I said,
listen
oh,
what I'm telling
I
you.
need them.
We reaching
my
some
shit.
folks.
I need it.
But what I need to
I
say
need
is that I don't need you just to listen to me. I need you to implement that into
That's
your
right.
life today. And we did all made mistakes. Let me say that. I wasn't the best of father coming up. You know what I mean? But today, I tried to do anything that I can to strive to make my kids better. And because listen, I can't teach them how to be a good husband if I ain't one. I can't teach them how to go to work and pay their bills and pay their rent if I'm not paying mine. You know what I mean? So I need to be able to tell you that, man, you're doing a great job here, man. I
Right.
appreciate you seeing you working, all those things mean something, man. And into us as men, put that into their lives and put that into their spirit, and they see it in us. So that be the guide that they follow. We will always have our kids messed up. But just for the day, I want somebody to be listening and take an inventory of yourself
Yes, sir.
and say,
Right.
listen, today, baby,
Right.
I'm going to change this.
Right.
I'm going to be a father.
Right.
You know, I can't come in and beat my wife
Right.
up
So
and sit
needed
there and act
household
like it's
sometimes.
all right with everything.
Promise you, it's so
You know what I
needed.
Because
mean?
if you don't,
So needed.
If you don't, this
take
is what
heed
you're going to get.
to all this that we're saying now. If you're not honest with yourself, then you might find yourself sitting on somebody's couch
That's
doing
right.
a podcast about losing your child.
Losing your child.
No better. Talk
The
to
most
'em.
painfulest thing
Talk
that
to
you
'em.
can have. You
Talk
know,
to 'em.
because us as fathers, we always thought we was a protector. And I even thought that you was scared enough for me to say, if
That's
I
right.
touch his child, he
Right.
gonna kill the whole family.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and I raised these kids up to believe that, let me tell you something, if they come at you, you better come at them hard. If they
Right.
go get this, you
Right.
better go get
Right.
that.
Right.
Today is not my
Right.
issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? The young man that killed my son just found out a few months ago that he's out of jail.
What?
And I was
What?
never told by the
Whoa.
Justice Department or
What?
nothing else.
What?
But let me tell you
Let me
something.
tell you.
I had to go to them and they always dropped the ball and so and so. But guess what I don't want to do? I don't want to lose another child.
That's right.
So if my sons would have walked up on him,
Right.
they probably would have done something to him. But listen, man, then God's going to settle that for me.
Right.
I cannot lose. Me and my wife lost 3 children together. All of them in these
Y'all hear that?
streets. 3 children in these streets. So do you think we want to lose another child to the jail or death?
That's right.
We'll protect them with everything that I got in me. I'll protect them. And
That's why we're here.
and can you imagine that? Not getting called once,
I can't.
but getting called 3 times about your child being dead.
I don't want the phone. I just said on my last shot.
That's why we here.
That's why we're here. That's why I'm fighting so hard. Yeah.
And I'm laying everybody down.
And listen,
Fuck mine.
listen.
I don't want it.
It's a horrible thing. So today,
I don't want it.
today, we got 19 grandkids and great grandkids coming right now. So I can't lose a son. I can't lose another daughter. I can't lose another niece, another nephew.
Yes.
I'm speaking to them right now.
That's right.
I'm speaking to them because I need them to know that I don't need you to retaliate for this man right now. And don't get it wrong. I feel that. I feel that in my heart. But I know that that's wrong and I'm going to lose something else. And let me tell you something. The mom cannot bear another loss. Us as men, we grieve a little different. But that mother hurts forever.
That's right.
And she cannot lose one more or have one incarcerated one more time. You know what I mean? All our kids are home from jail and doing fine.
Hallelujah.
And it was a product of our environment.
Right.
But today we have changed that.
Right.
We have changed it, man. And if we don't change, we're going to get the same thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want my 14-year-old to get rebellion and leave because y'all done it and made out all right. It ain't all right.
Right. It's
That's right.
It ain't all right. Let's get this thing together so that we can. Right now, we so hard on the kids, they think we have crazy. But I need you to do the right thing. I don't need you to walk down Bennett and hang out over the east side with your girls and this. Because let me tell you something, that my boys stuff and all that, they my homies, ain't none of that shit true. My homie got me 10 years in jail because he told the feds on me. You know what I mean? Or had me do some shit that I know wasn't right, and they left.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So no, we're not going to do that no more, man. Stick to your family.
I was going to say your family.
Yeah,
But-
family.
But hold on, that's true and that's understandable. But I can say, I'm gonna double back and say that because I've had family, I have friends that become family,
Yes.
and I've had family turn their back on me. And I've had friends that hold me down like they're my family.
Mhm.
And without some of my friends, I don't know where I would be today.
Yeah. Well, when I mean, well, go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead, brother.
So to piggyback off of that, it comes down to checking your circle.
Checking your
You know what I'm
circle.
saying? Like
Definitely, and I
not
had to check
just
some and get rid of a couple more.
your circle,
Yeah.
but your children's circle.
Yeah.
as
That's
well.
right.
Find
right.
out who it is that they roll with,
What they
they're
do.
about, and control who
Everybody
you
ain't
expose your
Yeah.
children
Who
to.
their mother and father
Yeah,
is.
who do you
Yeah.
allow over the house in
Yeah.
front of your children? Who do
Yeah.
you let them see you with?
Right.
So
Right.
you got to plug into this, man. And this is for the person that's feeling what we're saying, but just not strong enough to say it. We saying it for you.
You saying
It
it for
stops
you.
today. It changes today. No more male ego.
That's
No
right.
more normalizing being in the trap. No more normalizing letting your children do what they want to do.
Mhm.
That's over.
It's over.
It starts today.
It's
We're
over.
gonna change this community.
And I, you know what?
Retire from the trap. The trap ain't got a fucking 401k.
Trap don't owe me
When
nothing.
you get old, how you gonna
And-
retire? What you gonna retire from?
And that's what I tell
Where you gonna
everybody
come from?
too. If you're a hustler,
Where's it gonna come from?
you ain't getting Social Security. Ain't no
better
plan
tell
in
them.
there for
You
you.
better tell
And
them.
I
Where's it
see
gonna come from?
dudes that made hundreds of thousands of dollars and they sleeping under the freeway right now in the day because they didn't have no plan.
They ain't put nothing the fuck away.
They didn't have no plan.
They ain't had no
So-
401k.
Right.
Sleeping on
They
that
ain't had no
horse still,
pension. They couldn't
Yeah.
do
horse
shit.
still caught.
Couldn't do
Right,
shit.
right. And see, that's why I
That's why money
say
ran the fuck out. That shit was long
Yeah.
and fast and easy, and they wanted
Mhm.
it. But that shit stopped.
it stopped. It's over. So that's why I said
You ain't got no
Listen.
skills. You ain't got nothing to back it the fuck up. You gonna be a bum.
education is the new money. But let me
That's right.
say this one thing that is true too. Now listen.
Did y'all hear what he just said?
Yes.
Say that one more time.
Education is the new
Listen to
money.
that.
You better say
It's the new money.
That's the jewel.
Right.
Yeah, that's a jewel.
Right.
Because listen, they can't
Right.
take that back.
education is
OG
But-
dropped the
yeah,
jewel on
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah. But let me
Education is
say
the
this,
new
and I
money.
need to say this with all authority. I am a man and I am the head of my household, right? But my wife runs our household.
That's right.
She handles the everyday operations of what goes on in my house while I'm trying to go do what I say. Now, me and her sit and talk, and we the same gang. And what she say, I say, and that's what goes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But she is the watcher, and she is the this, and hey, baby, they done so and so and so and so. And she takes care of things. And listen, I ain't saying that because we the man, I'm the man, and you do what I tell you to do, and so and so and so. We right back into that same cycle. And that's actually a cycle of abuse. But people don't know that. They don't see that. But fill her in on what you're doing.
Right.
So the only way we're going to make it is me and you. I heard what you said in the beginning of this segment. I didn't have my mother and father with me. It's impossible to do it without it. You know what I mean? I don't care if you stepdad or whatever. Step up, do what you're supposed to do. Make sure that your household is intact. And yes, you got to go to work and you got to do this and mom got to do that. But make sure listen, I know where my grandkids at right now. You know what I mean? Because I need to know they with this one, they with that one, you know, because otherwise I'm not keeping track of them and I'm not doing my job. You know what I mean? I want to know that you in school doing what you're supposed to do. And we don't reward nobody for doing bad.
Right.
We won't.
You should.
You know what I mean?
So, with that being said, be mindful of what you pour into your children.
Yes.
Whether you pouring them, life lessons, or whether you pouring them a bunch of negativity. What we're doing, as we stated several times, is we're trying to break the cycle.
That's right.
One of the things that I'm doing is an organization called Positive Image, where we have an agenda. It's an 8-week course.
Oh.
For 8 weeks, we have a different topic that we discuss. One example of a topic is becoming a man.
Oh, yeah.
Not many
Right.
young children
Great
or young
topic.
fellas know how to even tie a tie.
Yeah.
But we have
That's
a
good.
organization and
I
an
love
agenda that addresses those things. We even have a segment where we have the fathers come in and join the young men, and we have a
Oh,
bonding
Right.
moment for the
that.
males.
That's right.
The whole
So we
movement
have
out this joint.
things that are in place. There's also one-on-one mentorship for those who are looking for that for young males between the ages of 13 and 17. So if you're interested in that, my name is Aaron Jackson. The organization is Positive Image, and I can be reached at 302-267-5858. You could DM me for more information as far as location information.
Yes, and my name is Kelly Harrison. You can reach me at 215-252-2425. I'm working with Brother Aaron right now on his project, but I also work in the drug and alcohol field, so if your mom needs some help, if you need some help,
Come on.
let me go get you some help because it's healing in help.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So let somebody call me. I didn't drove you to rehabs. I didn't went and pick you up. Now I won't pick you up from the rehab. I'll take you. But I am not picking you up from there. I need you to complete this process
That's right.
so that you can help your family. I don't care if you're 12 years old or if you're 80 years old. I need to hear from you so I can help you because somebody helped me.
Love that.
You know what I mean? So this is the things that we want to do. And we also talk to kids in the community. We do whatever we got to do to make
Powerful.
this thing works for everybody. You know what I mean? And it ain't I'm gonna say this, it ain't a black or white thing with me, but I'm pro-black and I need my children.
Right.
That's
And
right.
when I say my children, I don't mean just the children in my house. I mean, that little girl, when I came down here, we took my mom to shopping today. It was a little girl with a whole hood over her head in the middle of the street, doped out.
Mm.
I need to be able to help that woman because she got a child somewhere and she's going to have to be a mother.
Right.
But it's not going to start until you start getting some help,
Yeah.
you know, and
You gotta start
I'm going to
somewhere.
be your present help if I can, if you allow me to,
That's
you
right.
know, so hit me up. Tell me what you need. You know what I mean? Me and my wife gives out clothes. We hustle clothes now, you know,
Okay.
and I need to tell everybody too that's out there hustling and this
Right.
and that.
Let them know.
Change your product.
Right.
You don't
Let
have
'em
to
know.
sell dope. Change your
Tell 'em
product.
now. Tell 'em.
Buy
Right.
something and sell
Come on.
something. Educate yourself so you can trade a stock.
It could be
Do
anything.
something, but change your product before it's too late.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
I love that. Y'all see, this is what we be needing in the communities, these role models, these men that actually care and that's going to actually help and that's going to get up and that's want the kids to go somewhere and be somebody, not these people that's not the men that just want to ride around in their mom's cars when our mom's at work and want to go on the block and be outside. You be outside from sun up. The kids go to school on a school bus. You outside on the corner.
Yeah.
They come home. Your ass still outside on the motherfucking corner. They go to the park after school. You still outside on the corner. They come in and come eat, and you still outside on the corner. Get up off the corner.
That's right.
Get off the corner. Do something with yourself. Go somewhere and be somebody and instill that into your children. Because they're not. I told y'all, it's nothing but monsters running around the city. And it's getting on my nerves. Y'all be praying these monsters and stuff because y'all ain't doing shit with them. And we got two perfect grown black men fathers that care and they in the community and not for just their kids. They're here for your child,
All of them are
his
my
child,
kids.
around the corner, up the street, down west side, east side, Riverside, South Bridge, don't matter, Ellesmere, where you at, Newark, Bear, don't matter where you at. They ain't just for them, they for everybody's kids. And that's what we need. We need people to care about these children. We need stuff for these children to do to get them out of these streets because they causing havoc, and they run around fucking shit up because they have nowhere to do nothing but get out of school, but get into trouble. We need to start building up these communities and things for these guys. I just said it for the kids. There's nothing. If I hit the lottery, I'm telling you, I got you. I'm moving away, but it's going to start somewhere because we have to do something. We need something for these kids to do besides coming home from school being monsters. That's what's happening. I just said it on my fucking last show.
For those who are borderline trying, but your ego is kind of in the way, pick up the phone and call us, man.
That's right.
Pick up the phone and call us, and we'll help you lead
It got to start somewhere.
the way that you need to.
Even if you want to stop gang banging and then you don't want to be part of this shit no fucking more, and you scared, you don't got an outlet. These two gentlemen
we do that too.
They're your outlet.
Yeah, we do that too. If you got a beef with
You don't
somebody and
gotta
y'all want to sit these two people down and get rid of that beef, you know, you have to put pride away, because let me tell you what the books told me. The books told me pride is the first cousin to stupidity. And if you're strong in pride, you're never going to make it. You know, humble yourself. You know, and if you got something going on with somebody, man, look, call us up. And if we can sit you two people down and realize how we can stop you from killing each other, we with it. We with it. We about that.
And just so you know, we come from the same background y'all come from.
That's right.
We right here in the city of Wilmington. We've been through it. I done did 2 bids myself. I done been a convicted felon. But I got my pardon, my expunged. I got my rights back, you know, and I'm able to vote.
Yeah,
I'm able to legally carry. So, you know, it is a way.
It is a way. It's a possibility.
There is a way out, and we're here to lead by example.
That's right.
If we need to take your hand, we will. We'll take your hand, but you got to reach out in order for us to grab your hand.
Yeah. So with that said,
let's go.
I appreciate everybody listening, and I appreciate you having us on the show, because this is a platform that we need. Yeah.
I like I said, I was watching a podcast. I was in the bed watching this snippet, and I seen his son's mom, and I seen him. I'm like, hold on, wait. And then I just seen him real quick. Yo was 4 on the couch.
Yes.
The 2 was talking. They got out the way. Yo was talking.
Yeah, me and my
I said,
wife.
hold on.
Yeah.
And I'm asleep. I said, but hold on. When I get up, I hit him. I said, Aaron, I need you on my show, the brother.
A lot of people,
I need
man,
you on my show.
have
I heard a little bit of it, and it moved me and it touched me. And I said, I need for my viewers to hear it.
Yeah.
Because and it's they don't gotta be on one podcast. They're gonna do because it gets out there, it's networking.
Yeah.
But I said I need for my audience to hear it because it's a great story and y'all are doing some amazing things.
Thank you.
And I am so glad that y'all came on my show. Y'all made me cry again. I keep telling you I want to cry on my podcast.
It's all good. Let it out.
Don't make me cry. I'm tired of crying.
It's healing. It's healing.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for being on my show. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all was wonderful. And I said today when I got out of church, I said today is going to be a great show because I thought you was coming. And then I didn't know about the second one. I wanted y'all both to come, but it worked out. And
It worked out.
Look at God. Okay.
That's what's up. So
God,
thanks for having
makes it
us.
work. Yeah.
And for those out there, wherever the camera's at, man, we salute y'all for even
For
plugging
listening.
in and listening. Now it's time for action.
So
holla at your
I
boys.
just want y'all to just to tell the youth out there, because again, y'all are men. And they're not hearing it home from their fathers and things like that. Sometimes they need to hear stuff. Just let them know that, it's they can go somewhere and be somebody, and there's love out there, and y'all got the love to give to them. They ain't getting love at home. They can get it from y'all.
That's right.
Absolutely. And that's
right.
why we gave the number again, 302-267-5858. My name is Aaron.
And I'm Kelly, 215-252-2425. You can reach me at any time, and we always here to help. And it don't matter what kind of help. If it's just to call you up and see how you're doing today, brother, and make sure everything's all right with you. We with that. If you call me, make sure you're real.
Yep.
That's all it is. If you call me, don't waste my time. Make sure you're real.
That's right.
Because I'm trying to save a life.
That's right.
So if you real about it, I'm gonna be about as real as you is, and I'm gonna make sure you get that help. Them youth is who we attract in our. I used to say 14 to 21-year-old, but that's wrong now. I find that it's 12-year-old to 27.
Yeah,
That's our dangerous time for black men. Yeah,
Because you hit 18 and the law say you an adult.
You're not an adult.
You're not an adult.
No.
You still need to be guided on the right path and what to do because you might not have the guidance in your life or in the household, but you have these 2 great, wonderful men and they are willing to help.
And
all you gotta do is just reach out.
Be sure to reach out so that we can get these 8 things up and running. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're going to make sure you can tie a tie. Yeah, we're going to make sure that you can go to an interview and sign that application, right? And learn how to dress. You can't go into a man's place with your pants hanging down and your head not done and expect to get this job. He throws the application in the trash because he is scared of you from the way you look. And I actually done that experiment before. I took some just like that, sent them into a business and seen the results, and then I put them in some suit and ties and how you doing, ma'am, and this and that. And 70% of these people over here got more reaction from the one that walked in with his pants hanging down, talking about what's up, yo.
Of course.
Yeah, we're gonna teach you how to talk.
And you know what else? You know what else it is?
Yeah.
And it transcends into the business aspect, but just walking down the street, you can walk past a brother and speak, and he won't even speak back to you.
He won't even speak.
Or you'll get a meme mug.
Yeah, because he think you want something.
Yeah. And that's what we're trying to change.
We changing
that image right there, man. Is that it's each one teach one, man. We're here to lead by example.
Yeah.
So we need your help.
We need your help. Whoever.
We need your help.
Whoever. We need your help.
We need you.
Yeah.
We need you.
Because only y'all gonna make us successful. If we can't run around and say that we help this, that, and the other, we just wasting air. But if we come up and make sure we see one of y'all 20 years from now and you graduating from college, I'm delighted. I'm delighted. If I see you 6 months from now and you got off the block, got a job, taking care of your little girl, I'm delighted because that means we're doing something. You know what I mean? I want to see some movement in this. So contact us so we can get this ball moving.
That's it.
And so with that being said, I just want to again thank you guys for coming on my show.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all for coming, and it was the word was great, and I love it, and I love everything about what y'all trying to do. It's a movement. So with that being said, y'all, was a great show. Join me again on Let's Talk. I might have a guest. I might not, but we're gonna rock out anyway.
All right.
All right.